Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first podcast of today. Sometimes there's a 10-second delay, so I don't even know if it's actually started. But today we are here with my cousin, and we are going to be talking about the experiences that I had with DoorDash. And so basically, I did some I heard of DoorDash, I heard of Uber Eats and everything, and my friend was like, DoorDash is the best, so I decided to stick with them. And so then I became an affiliate with them, so they give me, for every person I invite, I can get, they get like $10 of free food, and I get $10 of free food, which is pretty cool. And so we are going to be talking about like Dash Pass, my experiences, and if you watch until the end, you'll get to hear a super funny experience about like me like with Taco Bell and stuff. You'll be like, it's just going to be great. You'll be like, what the heck? So we're going to get the chat up. So basically the first thing we're going to be talking about is Dash Pass. Is it worth it? How much are delivery fees and everything? So the delivery fees are usually like $2.99 to $3.99 per fee, and if you get Dash Pass, it is absolutely free. So I mean, free for the delivery, but it's $10 a month. So if you buy more than 4 things from DoorDash, I do recommend the Dash Pass. And yeah, I always recommend tipping as much as you can to these people because they don't get paid a lot of money, and most of them are like college students and stuff. So, yeah. So, do you know anybody who's had experience with DoorDash besides me, Liam?
I have a couple friends that use it, but I don't. Can you elaborate more on the benefits? I mean, because it feels like you're paying more for the delivery than you are for the food. Is my issues. I can't justify the price of that versus just getting something like. What are the benefits? If there are any?
Well, the benefits of DoorDash, in my opinion, is if you're like, if first of all, if you're too lazy to make food or you don't have enough food, that's very beneficial. And especially if you're like, you have to be 13 or older to use DoorDash, but if you have like a debit card and you just want food fast, quickly, and for not too much more, then yeah, it's kind of like your 7-Eleven. Like you pay more money, but it's way more convenient. So yeah.
I freaking love 7-Eleven. You sold me on that
one. All right.
Okay, here's another question. How did the whole affiliate being teamed up with DoorDash or whatever you call it, did they reach out to you or?
So, I have a company that called Adgate Media LLC, who reaches out to companies for me, and I have to pay them a little bit of money for them to do that, and then, but I make more money in return, obviously. But they reach out to companies for me, and then if they're interested, then they'll be like, yeah, sure, we can, we want to work with you. We see that you have everything we want. So, for example, they got me companies like for free Robux. Most of them were unfortunately a scam and stuff, but yeah. But one of them was DoorDash, and I was like, ooh, I like free food, and I wanted to do that. So yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends like DoorDash, so it was easy for them to use my affiliate code, and then they got $10 of free stuff, and I get $10 of free stuff. That works well. The thing with the affiliate code is people do have to have a phone number for it to work. So like you do have to enter in your phone number if you want the $10 off. to make sure there's no like bots, and you can't use like Google Voice or anything. I've already tried to bypass that. So yeah. Any other
Um,
questions?
is this like a code that you can share publicly or just to like your friends?
It's a code that I could share on like all my YouTube videos and everything. My limit is 30 people. After 30 people in a certain month, then any more I invite, they only get the $10 off, not me. So yeah, which is fine. But so I just want to make sure I get around 30 people. That's the goal.
Yeah, not too many, but just enough.
Yeah. And why would you pick Uber Eats or anything else? Well, the reason why I would pick DoorDash is they have the most locations. They have over 400 places I can order from where I live. I live out in an apartment, and it's just really easy to get food. You can get food from literally like CVS if you wanted to, which is kind of ridiculous, or like Wegmans. Um, but that's like special. Like, why I don't know why you would get that. I would just go to the store for that if you really want your bag of Cheetos or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Do you mind if I know you're not like completely 100% like working for them. Do you mind if I ask you some questions like
Sure.
about? And you can give me general knowledge. All right. So, first one is how do the people get paid? I think a lot of people might wonder.
So basically they get a $10 an hour, at least in Virginia. They get $10 an hour, plus they get the tips that you pay them. So it's really important that you give them tips, because that could make it their job go either in 1 hour from $10, anywhere from like $12 to like $20, depending on how many places they can get to and how much you tip and how much food you order. So it's really important, in my opinion, to give them at least a 15% tip, if not 20. I always do 20% tips. So yeah, I think that's important, because the people, they need to support their families and stuff too. And if you have the extra money, then it's worth it to tip them. So yeah. Especially,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
Especially when you have like promo codes for $10 off, like you could put that towards the tip instead.
Right. So how do they go about finding good drivers? Like, I know a lot of other apps that I've heard of have like a rating system.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an encounter with a driver that was
Bad.
Bad or mean? Or
Well, one of the drivers, well, we'll get on to the main thing where they stuck the middle finger up at me, but that was kind of my fault in my opinion. But the bad driver that I had literally drank my soda, and we're like, oh yeah, sorry, I drank your soda, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean you drink my soda?
In this day and age.
I'm like, it's so they're like, you can get like your money back through the DoorDash app. So I think that person was like just getting they were being a bad driver, because they know DoorDash has to pay for it, and not them. At least I don't think they get penalized unless they do it a lot. So that is a small problem, but the majority just leave it at the door. They have masks on, they're all safe, they have gloves on, so transfer with like being sick is good. We won't say the virus name because YouTube doesn't like that. So yeah.
One last question before we get on to probably some of the more interesting stuff is, would you say the overall like customer service is well implemented? And by that I mean, like, if your food arrives cold, are they just going to be like, deal with it? Or have you ever had food arrive cold? The whole experience with DoorDash revolving around bad things that aren't just, one in a million. These are things that just could happen. You order your food and it's cold. It happens all the time, even in restaurants.
Yeah, so my friend lives, we'll just call him, his name, we'll call him Chris. That's not his actual name. I don't know if he wants his name to be out there. His food came cold, and like, and it was not very good. So what DoorDash did is gave him a credit of like $3.66. Uh, so you can complain to them about pretty much anything over the phone, which you don't really want to use this since this company. And say, hey, this didn't work out, and they will give you some sort of credit. Like when the guy drank my soda, I got $1.75 back, and that's how much I got for the soda for your next purchase.
Right. But if you'd asked for your money back to your card or whatever method of payment you used, would you redeem that? Or
I don't think they would
not
give
happen?
it back on your card. They would just give you credit. Or if they did, they would give you less money.
Yeah.
But I always pick the one where I can get it since I know I'm probably going to order more food in the future.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
at the end of the day, they're a company, so they can't just give out money to people who are like, this is a degree too cold. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to ask for a full refund. So, anyways, I want to hear more about. I kind of want you to tell me more about this story. This guy who drank your drink. I mean, we can get on to the next part.
Oh yeah, I have a
Story, but I
few
think
stories
this is an
actually.
interesting one.
So this
Why
guy
don't you-
was like, this guy literally was like, I drank your soda, I was thirsty, and I was like, what? And so he just kind of was like, he just told me that to tell DoorDash to get money back, and says he also said he doesn't care, he doesn't get penalized, and I was like, you probably should get penalized for that, for admitting it right to my face. But so I gave that.
Not like-
I gave that DoorDash person a 3 stars instead of 5. You can rate like how good they were. Yeah.
I feel like I would have given them a lower. I mean, they literally said to your face, they don't do anything to me. So
Yeah.
I drank your drink and now you're thirsty. Because I mean, even though they give you the credit back, you still have to eat that meal without a drink.
Yeah, that is true. I just got some water. I'm
Maybe you're just too nice.
I'm too nice. Yeah. So the second story is so I ordered like a burger from Wendy's, and they gave me like Mexican food. And I was like, okay. So I got my full refund for the burger, which is insane. And then I got to keep the Mexican food. And that was awesome because the Mexican food was like way nicer than a Wendy's burger. But the problem is like DoorDash called me up and said, oh, we got the wrong thing. Do you want your money back? And I'm like, I guess I'll take it back. And they're like, yeah. And they said that I could keep that food on the house. And so DoorDash, if they mess up your order, they're gonna give you your money back, and they may even give you free food. Who knows? But I wouldn't
That's crazy.
I wouldn't try to abuse that once
Yeah,
again.
don't abuse it because then they'll stop.
Yeah.
Got any other stories like that or not bad customer experiences, but maybe interesting? Have you ever met anyone that's like a character? Fun, crazy.
Well, I met a guy who literally looked like he was like 17 doing it, and I'm like, I think you have to be 18 to work at DoorDash. I'm not 100% sure. Let's actually double check. How old do you have to be to work at DoorDash?
18 years old.
18 years old is what it says, yes. So, they looked like they were 17, and I think they were 17, and they were being sneaky. Okay. So that was kind of funny. But alright, let's get on to the really exciting story. So basically, I go to Taco Bell. I'm not going to say how I got these packets, but basically there was a glitch where you could get 999 packets. As long as you ordered food over $10, you could get up to that many packets. I'm not going to show how to do it or anything because I don't want DoorDash to get mad at me. And yeah. And I kind of don't want them to fix it either because it's kind of funny. I might do it one more time. So basically, I was doing it as a joke. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get myself 999 sauce packets. Ha ha ha. And then so I come up and it said like the order was going to may be delayed and may take up to an extra 2 hours. I was like, 2 hours? What's going on? And then I remembered. I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually getting me all the packets. So I thought that was hilarious. And so I come in and the DoorDash guy gives me all the, like a whole huge bag of packet, like bigger than my head. And it was probably like 9 or 10 pounds of like
pure sauce.
sauce. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so then the guy was like, thanks for the $10 tip, but he also at the end stuck up the middle finger because he was like, are you kidding me? I had to count them over again twice. Because if I got it wrong, then you could report it to DoorDash and say, oh yeah, I didn't get my order properly or whatever. And so he didn't want that. So this guy was an absolutely, had a great attitude. I think he was doing it as a joke. I think he was a little bit mad, but like I still gave him a 5 stars, so yeah.
My goodness. I mean, I think the interesting part to me is that if he said he counted it, I mean, did he expect you to count it? And
I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there counting it.
97.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to get a full refund and give you 1 star because I don't think I can eat my 12 tacos with only 997 packets. I mean, 3 short. What am I gonna do? Eat it dry?
Yeah, just imagine opening them all up and putting them in a taco.
You're like, I didn't order a drink. That's what I got the hot.
Alright, well, this is going to be the end of our podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For being in the podcast, we'll see what people think. So, any questions before we end the stream? Alright, who's the person with the green screen? Oh, that's me. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Hey, I could have a green screen, bro.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this stream and this podcast. Hopefully you have